Let's talk about tools and materials you will need to make this Calla Lilly flower. First, you will need to have your wafer paper razor because that's what we are going to use. Also, you will need 20 gauge wire or something thicker to use as your stem. To condition and shape my wafer paper, I'm going to use my AC Tonic mixture and this watercolor synthetic brush. You will need a pair of scissors to shape it, and to color and to make it beautiful and realistic, I'm going to use Confectioner's glaze and my Polen mixture, which is Semolina flour mixed with a little bit of petal dust. And for my wafer paper to shape it, I'm going to use this foam part. And for my colors, I'm going to use Cecylia rose and Foliage green. These are just light colored petal dusts. I will start with my template. So here's the template for my Calla Lilly flower. And I want my Calla Lilly to be thicker like the flower itself. So I'm going to use double thickness wafer paper. So I'm going to fold it in half. And for this flower, I would prefer to have bumpy side out on both sides. And I will need roughly this much. So I find it a little bit easier to apply your conditioner first. I'm going to use my AC Tonic, which stands for Astashkina Cakes Tonic, and apply in between two layers. Also, if you wanted to color your mixture and you want to make your Calla Lilly in any other colors, not just white, you can add a touch of airbrush color to your conditioner and color that way. So now I have my double thickness wafer paper and I'm going to cut my flower. So here I have my double thickness wafer paper and it's a little bit dry to shape it. So I'm going to take my conditioner mixture again and apply small amount, but evenly on all sides of this double thickness wafer paper to be able to shape my Calla Lilly. So now I'm going to take my wafer paper and apply a small amount of cornstarch to prevent the wafer paper from melting and sticking. You can see now it's a little bit sticky and it will stick to my ball tool. So I'm going to take my fluffy brush and a touch of cornstarch and apply here on both sides of my wafer paper. And now my flour is pretty flexible but not sticky. I'm going to take small ball tool and help wafer paper to curl a little bit. So I'm going to run this on the sides here. So this is going to be my back side. And here on the front, I'm going to use larger ball tool to shape it here at the bottom. And now I'm going to use my fingers and gently shape and help it curl. If you want this part to be curl outwards a little bit more, you can use your Drezden tool and from the back side just pull it towards you. It also helps with the shape. Now that my Wafer Paper Calla Lilly doesn't look flat and doesn't look like a paper, I wanted to shape it and leave it to dry while we are working on our center. So to do that, I'm going to take my flour and create this cone shape overlapping one part on another part. Like this. And because it's tough, it's still a little bit sticky, that's enough for me to put it together. And while it's going to dry, I'm going to go back and shape it a little bit. So I like it the way it is. So here is my Calla Lilly shape. I wanted to set it aside to dry before I'm going to dust assemble the rest. And to help it hold its shape, I'm going to use just a small bottle and put it this way and set it aside for a few minutes. While we are waiting for our flour to dry, I'm going to make the sander. So for that, I will need a 20 gauge wire and another part of my template. But to make the center, I will need only one layer of wafer paper. So here I have my template for my center. I have my 20 gauge wire, and I'm going to put it shiny side up and apply my Wafer Paper conditioner, same as we did for our flower. Thin layer to this piece to make it sticky. So that's the goal here, to saturate it a little bit but without melting. And now I'm going to place my wire here at the longer end and secure it onto my wafer paper and twist and shape my center. So while wafer paper is soft and I have some moisture inside, it's easy to shape and twist your wafer paper to create this thick tube shape, which is going to be my center for my Calla Lilly. Next step, to create the center, I'm going to use my Confectioner's glaze. I have here in a smaller bottle, and my Polen mixture. And for my Polen mixture, I use Semolina flour. You can use cornmeal or something coarser, or you can even use gelatin mixed with yellow petal dust or yellow powdered color. So I'm going to place it in here and take my Confectioner's glaze and apply a thin layer of Confectioner's glaze onto my center for the Calla Lilly flower. So now what I need to do is to twist my center and cover with this Semolina and petal dust mixture. If you wanted to have a thicker mixture, you can leave it to dry for a few minutes, apply another layer of Confectioner's glaze and dip it again in this mixture. Now that I have my flower and I have my center, what I'm going to do is take just a touch of this mixture of my Tonic to soften the bottom part of the flower so I can shape it onto my center. And I'm going to apply just a little bit here from the inside because I wanted to melt or soften only about ½ an inch on the bottom. Now I'm going to take my center, insert it inside the flower and pinch everything together. So I have my flower attached to my center for my Calla Lilly. Now I will need to set it aside to dry, preferably upside down, to make sure that your center stays in the center. And then we have a few steps left to dust and to make the stem thicker for the flower. So now the flower is dry. It's absolutely dry. We can dust and add a few more elements such as stem thickness. And to dust my flower, I'm going to use two petal dusts. One is green and one is light pink. So I'll start with this light pink color. And I'm going to gently paint or shade this top part of the Calla Lilly flower. And attach on the stem. And same for the green color, but I know this green color is very bright and very dark, so I'll take just a little bit. I'm going to take my cornstarch and lighten it up. So for my green color, I'm going to mix it with cornstarch and make this shade lighter because you can see the difference, and sometimes it might be a little bit too bright and too obvious on your flower. I'm going to color or dust this part and on the outside. This is just clean brush, so I'm trying to mix these colors and bring everything together. Same, I'll take small amount of this dust, green dust color, and touch on my center to make it look more dimensional and not just flat yellow, and attach here on the bottom. So we have our Calla Lilly with different shades of green and pink and beautiful transitions between all those colors. The last step is to make our stem thicker. And I'm going to use just a regular face tissue, or any tissue paper or even kitchen paper would work for that. I'll take one layer and cut in pieces about 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters thick. So to start with my stem, I'm going to use floral tape. This is green floral tape and I have full width, and I'll start here at the top where my wafer paper connects to my wire, and I'm going to bring this down. So this is just first layer, and you can see it's not thick enough for Calla Lilly flower. And to make it thicker, here's our paper towel or tissue paper. I'm going to use this the same way I used floral tape. So I'm going to stretch it, almost stretch it, and tape my stem. Another layer. And you can use same method for tulips or magnolias, any flower you want your stem to be much thicker than just 20 gauge wire. And because we're using face tissue or paper towels, it is not going to make the stem heavy. So I have 3 layers here, maybe another one. Gently bring it down. So now I can tell that my stem is much thicker, and this would work for me. I'll take another piece of floral tape, stretch it, and start from the top where I can connect floral tape to floral tape, stretching very tightly and pulling this floral tape down, making sure that I'm covering all my face tissues and this stem won't become undone. So another piece. Here's my beautiful Calla Lilly flower. You can see we use just a few basic tools and wafer paper to create this flower, and you can make as many as you wanted to put on your cake and assemble your beautiful arrangement. So now you know how to make beautiful Calla Lilly flowers, and you saw that we didn't use a lot of tools. It's very easy, you just need to have wafer paper and a few simple tools to create these beautiful flowers. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Anna. Have a wonderful day.